but it is a bit tricky to find your way here. It's a few kind of turns which you really have to be careful in order to find your way here. But it's well worth it. I mean, it's quite an interesting sight, especially everybody comes to see the Puente Nueve, the new bridge, which is not that new, but anyways, it looks quite different from this angle. So I'm gonna try to find my way to the very sort of bottom of this gorge, but we'll see what happens. There's a route. Most people stay there on a higher level and they just take pictures, and that's all right. But let's see if there is a way. There's not too much water. Obviously, it's been very dry for this season, and I've seen this river, and there's actually a waterfall. I've seen it like 10 times more water, but now it looks very, very dry. So there could be a way to go all the way down to the bottom of this. Let's see, you can hardly hear the water. I mean, okay, I can see, let me just show you around. If you look closely, you can see a small waterfall. Let's see, there's a trail going down this way. There is a house which looks like abandoned. I'm not sure whether it is. Let's see, I just want to go for a few meters and see if it's possible or not. Where is this trail leading me to? Okay, there are cars. Obviously it's not abandoned. It's just very quiet there. Let's see, maybe this is a private property. I have no idea. I'm not gonna go all the way. I just see what we have. Okay, there's the bridge. So here you go, Ronda Valley. There is a trail leading to the very bottom, but it looks like it goes to somebody's yard, so I'm not gonna go there. You see some vineyards there, or vineyards, and there is the balcony where people go and look across the valley, but it's quite nice to see it from this angle as well. All right, we're inside what looks like abandoned house here in the bottom of the gorge. You can see there is a waterfall. Let's see what we have here. This is very interesting. This looks very, very old. Maybe it's an old mill house or something. It's a little bit new construction here. Whatever it is, it's quite interesting. Not many tourists come around here. Okay, here you go. There's the river. Thankfully it's quite dry at the moment. Let's see what is behind this thing. Looks like a trail. Kind of like a hidden trail going somewhere upwards. Now it's getting wider. And more abundant. All right. Maybe that's not my place. All right. Looks a little bit exciting and scary place, if you ask me. Those creepy texts that you can see when you come down here might be referring to some of the times of this town that were not so romantic, as Ronda is very often sort of thought as a romantic escape for the 19th century poets and likes that came later, like Ernest Hemingway. But during the times of the Moorish sort of dominance, and when the Moors were the leaders of this place, the Christian slaves and prisoners would spend their lives chained to the steps that led down to the river, and their job was to pass the empty buckets of water up and down to fill the Ronda's water tower. So that was not too nice. And then if we go forward to a little bit later times, you might have read Ernest Hemingway's novel For Whom the Bells Toll. It describes the Republicans executing Nationalists in the Spanish Civil War by throwing them from the cliffs of El Tajo in Ronda. So it describes the execution of Nationalist sympathizers very early in the Spanish Civil War in late 1930s. So the Nationalists were murdered by throwing them from the cliffs of this village. And I think Hemingway kind of based the story, which he doesn't mention the village or the town in his book, but he bases the story in his book in this incidents that we know that happened here. And obviously both sides committed horrific atrocities, but very often the nationalist side's crimes are emphasized. But in this case, it was the Republicans who committed. And that's why this place under the bridge is a bit sort of creepy place. All right, that was a nice circle. That's where I started from, and now I'm just going back there. A little bit exciting as well.